Hello, viewers. Welcome to another interview segment with Somi. Today we have architect Amar. Join me as I welcome him on set. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Amar Eloqua Jr. I'm CEO of Lex Designs and Construction and JLex Designs.
So, how was it like becoming an architect? The challenges, the journey, everything.
The journey, I would say my journey started when I was small. My dad is an architect, so one of those nights where I was drawing, I just took a seat by his side and started drawing. That was my first contact with architecture. But I was also good at so many things. I could have become a doctor or any other thing, but I think I was just drawn towards architecture, the ability to be able to create. Basically, I would say my gift is to be able to be innovative and creative. So architecture was kind of a medium to express such creativity of being able to ask questions and coming up with solutions to it. So I was intrigued with how to raise something from nothing.
So, talking about creativity, how can you inspire the youths out there to be creative?
Well, how I inspire the youths creative is left for them within themselves to ask questions. When you ask questions, you're able to bring up solutions and able to come up with solutions to that. Therefore, it makes your brain think and become creative. You see, Facebook, he was asking questions, how can I connect this to this? And you produce this. Amazon, how can I deliver goods and services to the customer at their home? And here is Amazon. So the problem is that we are not asking questions, and sometimes we are so dependent on the government. Today we can say you cannot depend on the government to give you solutions. You yourself have to come up with solutions. You yourself have to become distinguishable to able to for the government to even notice you or take note of you. Also, to draw inspiration and creativity, there are already things online which can inspire you. Some people may think maybe something like Cartoon Network or animation is nothing, but it helps in the creativity of a child. You look at Dubai, you see some awkward shapes and everything, and those are things that you saw in cartoon that you felt, oh, it's not possible. Or you watch a science fiction movie, you see all those things. One of my lecturers say not everything is possible. It's just depending on the technology and the structure of bringing it into reality. And also, God has already given us expo. You see a tree, the way it stands, some of the structures that stand, those are inspired from things like trees and all those things. You see that they are structures, and you see them, and they are busy applying it all over the world. You see the core structure, you see all those things, and you see something like trees, and you see holding the branches. Or the expo is already all over the world. It's just for us to pay attention to things that are already here, or align our brain to be open to more and more things.
So, talking about allowing our brain to be open to more things, as an architect, you people put in so much in your designs to be creative and all that. And, some people will see a building or a project, they don't know what the time, the effort that really went into that. Tell me the efforts, you've put in to make your designs appreciated and stand out.
Okay, I was talking about the structure the last time, but it's not only structure. Normally, also you have to consider the nature of the place, the nature of the land, because architecture is a science and an art at the same time, because the human body is being considered. Basically, you're a doctor at the same time, thinking about the person's well-being, about how a room air flows into it and how it interacts with the body, how the different spaces interact. All those things you have to analyze all that. Or that's in a house, and in a shopping mall, you calculate all this, how the customer is able to appreciate the goods and services there. So there's a lot into it, not just because sometimes people feel you just carry a pencil, you draw something and that's it. But no, there's a science in it, there's an art in it. So all those things combine to bring out a beauty of a house. Sometimes you might see a house, it's beautiful, you go inside, it's not something good. Me, a human being, might not understand that, but we that are into the building industry might understand, oh, this is not proper.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, come to talk about the services of an architect. Some people think they can bypass that aspect. So could you tell us the importance of an architect, having an architect in your building plans?
Well, most people feel they could bypass because most people don't, maybe when they get a house or want to design something, they don't put into account what it takes to also design it because we just want to jump processes. Best architect, first of all, is God himself, because he breathed over the sea when he was hovering over the sea and thought about how will I create earth, or how will I go about this. I say, okay, let there be light. After the light, it was one process after all that. Before he brought man into the whole place, he had already set up the house. So the importance of an architect, it helps prepare the place, because you could go give someone to a mason and the person designs something, and at the end your money is wasted. I spend money trying to get it into place. Sometimes the structure will be dancing in a different direction. I spend money.
So what's the importance of following the processes as a student studying architecture and also as one in the field?
Process is an important thing in life, because there's nothing out there that is naturally made, that is not without process, because there are systems set for that process to grow. For example, the tree, you plant a seed, it grows into a tree, it goes through that growing process. Why process is important is it helps you become stronger. So if you go through a school and they're teaching you all this, it is important to gain those information, absorb those information, and build yourself, because those processes will help you out there in the field, out there against the challenges. Because there are times the storms are going to come, there are times questions will come, and because you spent your time getting through those processes, you're able to find solutions to any question given to you. Let me put Joseph, for example. He had to go through a process before he got to the throne. He had to go to Potiphar's house, to the prison. All those was to build him for where he was going. Even Daniel, you talk about Daniel, we read about Daniel. He had to go through that process to get to where he was, to the position he was. Process is like you're growing, and growing is not going to be sweet. It's not always going to be as you want it to be, but there's a design already, and he has to go through that design. That design has to go through process. You have to go through that fire so that you become that gold and the world admire.
Could you tell us how one can stand out, be unique, beyond what he or she learns in the university?
Okay, we could stand out by basically asking questions. We are too comfortable with what we have. We spend time being consumers. We are not engaging our mind. What keeps you to be youthful is the ability to keep bringing something to the table, bring value to the table. A rich man will not come looking for you when you don't have value. America won't come looking for you if you don't have value. So it's when you have value, when you keep asking questions, you see a stone, maybe you see interlocking tiles, and like, okay, this is the interlocking tiles we are using. Is there any way we can reinvent it? Is there any way we can put something new? Is there any way we can put a spin to it? You ask questions. You see Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook and all that, he just started with one question: how can I connect with my friends? You see Amazon, he said with one question: okay, how can I bring goods to the consumers at their home? They are connecting, they are asking questions. If you spend time asking questions, your brain becomes engaged, your brain becomes better. We spend time thinking about being fruitful and multiplying. That is what we do in Africa. God said we should be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue and have dominion. And to replenish is you're adding to what is already in existence. So when you bring something, you subdue. You easily become a billionaire, a millionaire through those ideas. Yes, it might not come at first so direct, but it will take time. That's why process is important. When you build that process, even in your character and ability, it gets you there.
Okay, what are other areas of architecture?
Well, architecture basically deal with the environment and human beings. So if you're taking through a society that engages you, you really see that architecture, you could actually become a photographer because you're taking the camera interacting with the environment and people. You can become a fashion designer, design clothes because it's the clothes, the people. You can make games, you can make animations because the same technology used to do your presentation, the same technology they use also. You could also even become a furniture maker because furniture is also part of an interior decor, do interior designs, so much more. You could even design cars, design ships, but those will need further study. So those are other parts of architecture we don't talk about. Or you could even go into designing the materials being used for all that. Even do landscaping. Landscaping, you're dealing with how to purify the environment. So much in architecture you could do.
Okay. So, what are some of your services that you've rendered?
Some of my services, well, I've been part of the team that designed the Governor's Lodge in Ebonyi State. I designed some of the facilities for Siren Hotel, the international airports in Ebonyi State, an ongoing stadium, the Olympic Stadium, which we are still working on. And those are a few of them. Even the medical school was part of the team. Medical school, the King David Medical School at Uburu. Yes, we worked on that too. And some other individual projects, estates and duplexes and flats. We've worked, even the shopping mall, we did that too. So, yes.
So, as an architect, what are some of the challenges you faced and how have you been able to navigate your way through them?
Oh, some of the challenges you meet is sometimes in terms of the topography of the land, how the land slopes or whether it's straight or the type of soil that is there. You meet such, and also sometimes the demands of the clients could also be challenging, and the time frame on which you have to deliver the work and what the client wants. Sometimes you end up with the design and what the end product is totally different because that's based on the client's change of mind at that particular time. And also because of the society, you might not be able to be paid the value of your work because probably the economy or the way the client is thinking or the pocket of the client or the value, how he values your services also.
How do you think that the government could add to the content that has been taught in the university to make our Nigerian youths stand out?
There's a need for a research into what the top countries or countries out there are doing in their departments in architecture and different places and update our syllables to be able to compete. Even some African countries are able to go ahead of Nigeria in terms of their syllables because of they are open-minded to do research, ask questions. We are comfortable with what we have here in the country, so we are not moving forward.
Okay, what is your advice to intending entrepreneurs and young entrepreneurs out there?
My advice is, we should not give up on what we are seeing, but rather we should be hungry to ask questions. What can I bring to the table? What can I do to change the situation around me? Except you begin to ask questions, except you're troubled and ask questions, would you be able to bring up something creative? I told one of my friends, it is easy to become a billionaire here in Nigeria or a boy state because there are so many questions yet to be answered, so many inventions yet to be created. Yes, you can even create something, a white man comes and buy that idea from you, sell it for a huge sum of money. And also going online and trying to get online skills at the same time because the world is going digital. Imagine where you go and what you have already, you go online and get online skills that helps you add something to your pocket. You become comfortable it's gonna take time, it's gonna take passion, it's gonna take sacrifice. So there's nothing easy gotten. You can get it easy, but you lose it that way you got it easily. Yeah, so that's it.
It was nice having you on set. Thank you for those insights, and we really do appreciate your time on set. So viewers, you've learned so very much from architect Ama. It's time to put those words, those things that you've learned, to work. Don't procrastinate. And I would love to hear from you in the comment section what you learned in this interview segment. Until I come your way again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notification button so you don't miss any of our interviews. Bye.